Hi everybody, it's Patti and Debbie from Print and Pixel Studio, and today we have a cool project. It's not a new process by any means, it's coffee dyeing, but we've been experimenting with it over the weekend, and we've come up with a way to kind of like speed up the process and get some really good looks with using some different materials. So the first little group we're going to start with here is we use stencils, and we wanted to see how they would work. And we if you know Debbie and I, we have no patience. If we start to make something, we want to
instant gratification,
right? I don't want to wait for days while it dries in the sun and all that stuff, which I don't have a problem with that. A lot of people do that, and it's fine. And we used to do that. We would, be coffee dyeing in the kitchen, dipping and putting it in the oven, all kinds of stuff. But we kind of are burnt out on that, and so we hadn't done it for a while. And we thought there's got to be a way that we could do this where it's no muss, no fuss, just get it done and, make something with it. So that's kind of what we were experimenting with this weekend. And so we started to use, this first group, we started to use some stencils that we had, and we loved the way they came out. I should backtrack first, I guess, and tell you what we did in the kitchen. Instead of putting down like plastic tablecloth and stuff, which is fine, we didn't have any, so we didn't do it. And so Deb came up with the idea, hey, let's use we have a little doggie that Debbie's taking care of, and she comes with puddle pads. And so we tried it, and boy, oh boy, is this the way to go. You have no leakage, right?
Yeah.
No leakage, it collects everything. How much did we do on there? And we never had, just
lot.
on one.
I used one puppy pad, and we did all
almost
day.
all these papers.
Yes, all of them. Yeah.
So it's not, it's pretty cost effective. And I'm sure, I don't know how much they are at the store.
They're just inexpensive. Those are like Target ones that she came with. They're just Target brands.
Yeah. They're not
ones.
any fancy kind from any kind of pet store or anything. But I'll tell you, if you want to try it, they really work great. And we thought, anyway, we've used like the plastic tablecloths and stuff in the past, but somehow we always have coffee running off the edge or something like that, and it's kind of a mess. But this isn't. So we highly recommend that. And then we didn't dip the papers or anything. We just took a rubber sponge brush and dipped it in the coffee. And what we did first was we painted a light layer of coffee onto the paper, front and back, and then put the stencils on and just dabbed the coffee all around the stencil. And then to dry it, we took the hair dryer, and it takes just a few minutes to dry it, and look what a great look you get. They come out terrific. And these this is, I think, is this Tim Holtz?
Yeah,
that's his stencil, and that's the first one we tried, and this is how it came out, and we liked it. And then these little guys, we just love these. These are for silk screening, isn't that what you said, Deb?
Yeah, I got them at Hobby Lobby. They're very economical. I think they're like $3.49
yeah.
for a couple
and they have a little sticky on the back. And even through all the coffee dyeing, they still have the sticky on the back.
Yeah.
So you could reuse them over and over and over. And we'll have a link to all the supplies that we used in the description below the video. So if you're interested in any of those. We also saw that they have them on Amazon as well in all kinds of different patterns. But that particular set we got at Hobby Lobby. But look how cute they are. Now, not only are they cute just to decorate this piece of paper, but how cute would they be cut out and turned into labels, or you could make little hidden paper clips with them. Yeah, anything. But we thought the patterns were really cool. Now this one is, this guy, and we think this is Amazon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But like I say, if you're interested in any of these, we'll have them in the description below where you can link over
Yeah,
to
he's
him.
this design right here.
Yeah, this one. And he came out here, and we just love him. And we love the way that when you dab that coffee onto the stencil, how it just kind of leaves this watermark around. It really adds, we think, to the look of it. This is Tim Holtz again, and look how great that came out. All these were done exactly the same way. You know, we just laid them down on the puppy pad thing, and then just painted on one layer of coffee, and then just got coffee on the sponge and just dabbed it around. Isn't that the way you did yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't tape these down or anything. These stencils, we didn't tape them down. We just laid them on top of the paper. That paper is watercolor paper that we used mostly
Yes.
on these bigger pieces. But we have some other that we used on regular paper, and it came out just as well. But
You'll see those later in the video that came out on regular paper, and they came out just as good. But we were kind of interested in trying this watercolor paper. And here's another one. No, this is the stencil. This is, what are these things?
circles. I don't know.
Yeah, they're those rapid design things that draftsmen use. And we found a bunch of them in a bag at a thrift store. And so Debbie took it and laid it down on this. And let's see if we can line him up, I guess. But anyway, she laid him down on here and did the same technique. And how cool is that? That is
I love
really
that.
cool. I know, I
It
do too. This
surprised
is one
me.
of our favorites. Yeah,
Yeah.
really
it's
cool.
Really neat looking.
Here again, this is 3 of those silk screen stencils is the word I'm trying to say. Like this one is this guy here, but
My butterfly. We didn't put them back up where they
yeah, we
go,
didn't.
but
We were so involved in it, we didn't really put them back. But you can see here. Here's the butterfly, and here's the other flower, which I think comes out really great. Yeah, super cute and easy peasy to use. There you go. And now here's a different paper. This is not the watercolor. This is music paper. And this is that Tim Holtz stencil again. And we just think that they come out great. Really cute. But like I say, all these are exactly the same process. Now, this is one of our favorites. This guy is a stencil that Deb found. I think that was the same day, wasn't it, at Hobby Lobby?
No, these are from Michael's, actually.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Michaels. But anyway, same technique that we did before. Just laid it down on top of there. But look at this. How cool is this? This is on some kind of, I guess it was an address type thing or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, they have the alphabet little tips on the end. But cute. Super cute. But you
Yeah,
can
that
get
was
so many, huh?
That thing came in like a big pack of letterings of all different sizes.
Oh, yeah. It's Artist Loft ABC, as it's said.
Yeah. And
So
that
there's
was
all
from
kinds
Michael's.
Yeah.
And-
But these are cool. And the other nice thing about them is they're thick, so they really take a good dive.
Yeah. We found if the stencils, we had a couple stencils that were kind of thin, and they really didn't work out for us.
No, if they're,
But they need to be not thick, but have a little bit. The thicker, the better.
however, these are not terribly thick. But
No,
I think
they
because
stick.
they're made, yeah, but they stick. So, like you can see here, these are not super thick.
Yeah.
But because they stick to the paper, you get a better result with them than some stencils that we had that
Yeah.
were way too thin.
Yeah, I think just
Not many.
experimenting.
Yeah,
No, yeah,
right.
we only had that one actually that was
Right.
that didn't
Right,
work.
that didn't work.
Which we were disappointed because it was some really cool flowers.
Yeah, it had these really cool
We're not giving
long
up.
stem flowers, and we thought we could use them as fussy cuts, but they didn't come out good enough. So then, let's see. Then we went to lace and fabric, and we had some really good results with that. Look at the burlap. Look how cool that is. This is the piece that we use. Oh, and here's the other bonus to this. not only, this was a piece of white burlap, so not only are you getting a really great design on some paper, you're also multi-purposing because you're dyeing your fabric or trims at the same time. And everything dries with the hair dryer in just a few minutes. I mean, it's just mind-boggling how fast this stuff, you could produce this stuff, and with very little mess. I mean, like I say, thank goodness for the puppy pad, because that thing was a champ.
Oh, it contained everything.
It did.
In a small area.
Right,
That's what
right
I
on the
loved.
kitchen
I
table.
My whole kitchen wasn't
Yeah.
in
When-
disarray.
When we used to do paper, coffee dyed paper, I mean, I know Debbie did the same thing. Both of us at our own homes had stuff spread out all over the kitchen, and you don't have anywhere to dry it. And in my instance, because I live in a condo, I don't have any place where I can put anything out in the sun or anything. So, you know, it's...
I hate running my oven too, especially here.
Oh
it's
gosh,
so
it's so
The
hot
last
now here.
thing
Yeah,
you
it's
wanna
the
do is
hottest
turn
year
the
we've ever
oven on
had.
to dry them,
So anyway, that was the burlap, and it comes out really cool. And then this, we have several different pieces of this because we did it in different ways. Okay, first of all, we did this one. And this is this piece, but here it is coffee dyed. This is the piece I actually used for it. And again, you get a coffee dyed fabric at the same time. And we didn't weight this down or anything. I just laid this on top and did the same tapping process. And then when the fabric got wet, I just kind of pressed it down and it stays down on the paper. And this is what we got, which is really cool. We loved it. But then Deb came up with this idea last night when she was there, I guess about 4:30 this morning. We needed some more pieces, so Debbie was up early this morning experimenting. Excuse me. So anyway, she used the same paper or the same lace. In fact, it was the same piece, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she put it down on the paper, just like we did before, dabbed it with more coffee, but the secret is she weighted it with the pan that, one of her baking pans, she set on top of it for a little while before you air dried it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And look at the detail you get with this. She did the same thing here. And you could see how much detail you get with that lace. Let's see, where's this one? It's much more detail than you get with this. We like this because it gives great texture. But if you're looking for a lot of detail in the florals or the flowers, that's the way you want to go. You want to weight it down. How long did you weight it down for?
Oh gosh, I don't know. A couple minutes, you know. I have no patience, so.
Okay, so here's one now. This is this guy. And this guy. And he had another piece on here, but I used him in a project you're going to see later. So here we had these two pieces. And again, we love how this fans out, how the coffee fans out on the page to give you kind of a shadow effect around the doily, which is really neat. And this lace came out. Now, did you weight these?
No.
These were unweighted.
These are
okay.
before I started the weighting.
Okay. But look how great that lace came out and that doily. And here's a little tip. If you have a boo-boo like this, you don't have to worry about it. You can just take a little bit of coffee on your sponge and rub him out. And it's just like the magic eraser. You know, it just totally disappears, right?
Yeah. Well, I was doing a whole page of something and I didn't like how it turned out, so I just painted my paper with coffee and started over.
Yeah,
versus wadding it up and saying, "Oh, I don't like that," and throwing it out.
Right.
You can reprocess, even if it's dried. We had some coffee dyed paper that I used that was just plain coffee dyed paper, and I used that paper and I just literally painted the coffee onto the paper again and then imprinted the lace
Right.
and used it. So
Right.
very forgiving.
It
And
is.
I'm sick about all the coffee dyed papers I've kind of
Thrown away because we didn't like them.
the
Yeah.
result, but you don't have
But
to. 'Cause
like this little guy right here, put a little coffee on your brush and just erase out the part you don't want, and it evens it right back out. So,
you know us, we're always making a mistake in this way.
some of us are.
Okay, Mom's always making a mistake.
Thank you for that, Debbie.
You started it.
Okay, and then we did these. Now these are the traditional plastic placemat deal, and we liked it. You know, we liked the way they came out. Just because it's traditional doesn't mean it didn't come out great. But look at that pattern; it's really cool. Now again, this is the same process. You know, we didn't let it set for. I know the first time we did these, geez, I think I let that thing set 24 hours.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But this, and we really weren't sure if using the hairdryer would work or not. You just, you leave. Did you leave this on with the hairdryer?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's another thing. Now, that's another thing with the lace. We did the drying with the lace on it, didn't
All
we?
of them.
Yeah.
We dry with
So-
the stencil and the lace and everything. down.
Right.
You just the hair dryer over
Right.
everything. But you don't
And
lift
what
it.
happens is, and I'll show you on something that's got more, like this. Where is that little thing? Okay. What happens is, when you paint this on, you're going to see coffee running all around in here, all over the thing. And at first you think, this is not working. It's not going to color,
Yeah.
But we thought, well, let's just, soldier on and see what happens. So you take it, let me get rid of this so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so you take it, and again, you paint a little bit on and dab your stuff on, okay? Then you take the hairdryer while this is still on there and go over it with the hairdryer, and you'll see there'll be puddles of coffee under the lace. And you'll see it start to move around, of course, because the wind from the hairdryer is blowing the coffee around. But pretty soon you'll see that it's getting pretty dry, and you don't have that. And so you'll be able to tell. It's not, it's not hard to tell when it's getting dry. And then you pick this up, and voila, you have this.
Mm-hmm.
And there's, it's just inspiring. I mean, you get addicted to it. You think, oh, what else can I make? But that's the same way we did this. And we did it right over the plastic placemat. And like I say, at first you think this isn't working because you see no color on this at all. You just see puddles of coffee flowing all over the place, right?
Yes.
and you think, oh gosh, well, this was a fail. But, give it a try, see what happens. And so we did, and sure enough, you get some great results. Mm-hmm. And here's another one with the other plastic placemat that we have. And you can see all the detail you get. And the same way, left the plastic placemat on here, over it with the hairdryer. All these were done that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even with the stencils, everything.
Yes, everything's left on the lace, the stencils.
Right.
Yeah.
And then after it's dry, you peel that back. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, we are just, where's that piece that has that on it? Did we get that out here? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a piece that has this on it. Yeah,
and
look
these are just our we were testing.
Yeah, these are our test pieces. But look at this.
All of them are tests.
Yeah, really, because we've never done this way before. But again, just put it down on the paper. Painted the paper with the coffee. Put the pattern down. Covered it up really good with coffee. Just pouncing it in, and then hit it with the hairdryer. And once it's dry, that's what you get. Mm-hmm. Oh, and here's another one. Now this one, I don't know. This is one that I did, and I don't know how I got those. I think
did outside. That was the one.
Oh, that's right. This is the one we dried outside. when we first started, because we thought, okay, let's put these out in the sun, you know, the typical way. And then we got to thinking, hey, wait a minute, you know, there has to be an easier way to do this, because
You didn't have 3 hours of patience.
no. That's one thing we never have is patience. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
right.
one
I
was-
don't know what
yeah.
happened with that. Obviously, the coffee didn't go everywhere, you know, needless to say. So that was a fail, but there's some good pieces in here that we can
But
use.
you can take some coffee
Well, that's
on
right.
your brush.
That's right.
and you could dab
Touch
that
it up.
in
Right.
if that bothers you. But
Yeah, but
somebody
then,
might
yeah,
like that.
I know, it didn't bother me. And then we also did one with these, and they all came out great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So it's a lot of fun, and it's so much less stress and so much easier to do and so much faster
Yeah, less mess.
than the
less-
traditional coffee dyeing routine that we've all been doing, you know. Now, we're not saying that no one else has ever tried this routine or not, but we've just never seen it.
Yeah.
But I could tell you, and so could Debbie, that this is the only way we're going to do coffee dyeing anymore.
For sure.
Because we had in the past just done plain pieces of paper and painted some coffee on them and dried them with a hairdryer, but never the patterns. We always let those air dry or sun dry,
Yes.
and
Or in the
and
oven.
dipped them. Yeah, right. And it was a pain in the neck. And like I say, living in a condo, I didn't really have any place to spread all that stuff out, you know, to dry. But they come out really great. But the ones that the plastic tablecloth lace is cool, and we like it, and we're going to use it. But the ones we love are the Stencils. And the lace. We like those. So we thought, since you have all these pieces of coffee dyed paper, what are you going to do with it? So I'm sure you got all kinds of stuff. Of course, they go in the journals and stuff. But we thought, you know, it might be kind of fun to do we're going to do some happy mails. And we thought it might be kind of fun to do a little folio thing that we could include in a happy mail. Now this is, let's see if I can get to the middle here. This is a piece like the number sheet that we did. And this is Tim Holtz's Floral Stensil on that same kind of little alphabetized book page. We have a whole bunch of those. They're really cute. They come out. But it makes a really cute little folio cover. Now, we're not decorating this a bunch on purpose. And the reason for that is because we intend to include this in a happy mail. We thought that it would be neat just to leave the pieces plain. And then whoever receives it can do whatever they want with it. They can take the book apart and add more pages to it. And we're not going to do anything to the coffee dyed patterned papers because someone may want to use those, you know, in whatever other journal they have or in another way than what you could do in here. So it'll be just a little folio type thing, little miniature journal, and all the pages are going to be plain. I mean, you know, they're really cute pages, but we're not going to add any decorations or anything to them. We've just like paper clipped the little papers on. This is another one, and we have done nothing to the back. That's going to be all up to the person who receives it. And here again are the little stencils, and they couldn't be cuter. They just make such cute, don't you think?
Yeah, that one, I didn't coffee dye the paper first.
Oh, that's right.
I
Yeah, you didn't.
Put the stencils down, and then I painted it, so then
Right.
it left the white squares.
Which I like.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then here's another one. And like I say, we're not going to do anything to them. We're just leaving them alone. And same with the little journal. It's just a bunch of little papers for you to use or decorate, or whoever gets this can do. And here's another piece. And now here is that same technique, only we did coffee dye the back of the paper first, you know, the base of the paper, and then put the stencils on. and it's just as cute, but it gives you a couple different feels, which is nice. And again, more coffee dyed paper. And here's that butterfly. He just came out great, I think. Really cute. And just a little pocket in there they sit in. And here's a piece of that lace that we did, and when we took off, where did he go? Oh, here he is. This guy. And we tore this off of another piece that we had there that was larger, just to add kind of a little bookmark type label or card in there. So he's cute. Get back in there, buddy. And that's it. But it gives you kind of an idea, and you can see on this one too, the pattern from the front transferred onto the back, which is kind of cool. It gives it some detail on the inside of the paper as well on this particular paper. But it makes a really cute little gift for somebody or for yourself, and stick it down in your journal in a pocket or clip it to the page or something. And it makes a cute little thing you can decorate. And so that's what we thought we would do. And we just wanted to kind of use just the papers that we worked on during this coffee dye process and not add anything else to it. So I guess, gee, that went kind of quick.
I know, right?
Yeah, I guess. But anyway, we hope you guys got some really cool tips from this, and give it a try. And one of the coolest things is don't forget the puddle pad for the puppy, because this is a game changer.
Yeah.
I think every single piece of this paper was done on one puddle pad.
One, right. And
You know?
I'm talking, it's super absorbent. So
Yeah.
It just holds so much. And
Right.
just that square was my working area, and it
Right.
held everything right there.
Right. Yeah, this is the game changer. Yeah. So anyway, we thank you guys for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.